At Children North East we focus on child poverty, but the reason that we focus on that is because of their very detrimental long-term outcomes in terms of health, in terms of academic achievement, in terms of life chances generally. We reckon there are 132,000 children living in poverty in the North East as a whole. There are pockets in Newcastle and Middlesbrough that are as high as 29% and even higher than that.
Children North East has been around for well over a century, but it's been working with the communities that I work with for all my working life as well. And that kind of consistency is absolutely critical.
We're also concerned about the mental health of children and of adults as well, which is caused by the feeling of inadequacy that you have from not being able to do the same sorts of things that everybody else in society seems to be able to do.
Poverty Proofing the School Day came about because children and young people told us that if we could do anything about child poverty that would make a difference to their lives, then we should do something about the school day. And what we found was that a lot of what the children were experiencing was indirect discrimination, was unintentional by the schools, but it was the policy and the practices of the school day that was making life difficult.
In schools we have packed lunches for free school meal children going on trips, but it's so obvious, because all the children know. The little white paper bag, all the children know, well, if you're on free school meals, you're going to get that bag, and that's feeding into the self-esteem of the student, which has impact on either their behaviours or their attendance. Things like non-uniform days are really stressful for some children in disadvantage, because it's that whole idea, I've got to wear something quite grand for that day. We never thought about it, but it was something that we could change quickly. Poverty Proofing educated us, and it reminded us about our moral purpose and how we should be supporting the students.
I think the work that Children North East do in highlighting the effect of poverty on children's lives is quite unique, not just in the North East, I think throughout the country.
It's generated a lot of interest nationally, so we've already trained up staff and taken poverty proofing into Glasgow, into North Lincolnshire. So other organisations are looking at how can we train them up to deliver it in other parts of the country.
We've developed a number of different parenting programmes for fathers.
Dads and family men tell us that they don't feel able to go into children's centres or schools even, that it's not a comfortable environment for men to be in. So we do a lot of work with Fathers Plus to engage men in children's lives.
Gateshead Council contract us to provide a crisis intervention service, and these will be families where their parents have mental health problems or substance misuse problems. There's usually domestic violence, and there's also neglectful parenting, and that gives us the opportunity to be able to work very, very intensively with those families.
We were having a very bad time as a family. You know, we were there with people who were trying to do their best by their children, by their partners, and they were just, like, we were completely out of our depth.
We then reinvented the idea of training actually young people as peer mentors.
It's all about sort of just having that friendly face and someone like around your own age who understands, but you know, someone who's they're able to look up to and basically just talk to and get a bit of help.
One of the great things that they've been able to show is that some of their volunteers, the support that they give, do go on to find paid employment, and that has massive impacts for the children.
The expertise that they have is not something you can buy. We'll always be very grateful.
That kind of commitment and supporting the community is like gold dust for people like me.